No, I forgot the intro. Hi, everybody. We're live. It's Monday Night Draw again. So my microphone's over here. So yeah, it's great to be back. Obviously, a lot of us have been here through the summer. I've certainly been here through the summer. We had some great guests. We had Dan DeSantos, and we had James Robinson and Eric Gist, some phenomenal guests this summer. So it was a lot of fun, but it's nice to get back to just drawing a picture and having Meredith here. Meredith's here again, which is great.
Hello, everybody.
And Dan DeSantos is here. He says, LOL, the coughing.
I can't help myself. Actually, I feel like it was a little bit, it was Supersonico's fault because he was like, I missed the coughing.
Yeah. You know what? We had fun this summer. And it's great
I had a great time.
It's great doing streams.
I worked
with Eric.
my hiney off this summer.
Yeah, well, so did I.
I did not miss having to stay up till 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm going to make it tonight. I mean, I think we all know there'll be the obligatory yawn.
I forgot what it's like to not get a word in.
And yeah, stop talking. This is my show.
Let me just get this out really quick. I'm drawing Homelander. Meredith and I have been watching The Boys, and we're way behind. I know it's been out for a couple of years now, whatever. We just finally started watching. We're a third of the way into season 2.
No, we're not that far.
Are we not? Okay, whatever. We're a couple episodes into season 2. It's such a great show. And from everything I can tell, it continues to be great through season 4. So anyway, so yeah, I'm doing Homelander, which I'm really pumped about. I was thinking, what am I going to do for the first episode back? And it just seemed perfect. So I feel like I'm a little out of date with this one. It's all right. Show's still going. So here we go. I'm going to start drawing. You
start drawing, and I will read our first super chat of the night from SCS Powerlifting for $5. And SCS says, welcome back, Meredith. Maybe he didn't mean it that way, but we all know you're so happy to have me back. Aren't you, Dave? You're so happy to have me.
I'm happy to have you back. You know what? And the nice thing is, Eric and I still have streams coming up. We'll still be doing some stuff soon. We actually have.
If I let him stream.
We have Dan Panosian coming up next week. Very excited about that one. I'm going to be bugging about his inking technique all night. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then we have Dave Johnson coming up after that in a few weeks. We haven't nailed down the time, but it's coming at some point.
But really tonight, what everybody wants while you draw your pretty picture is to hear all about my summer.
Right. Here we go.
Henry Jeremick said, Meredith, it's nice to have you back again. I hope all your horse stuff is going well. Oh, the horses. How many horses do we have now, Dave?
I don't miss this already. I can't believe it.
Let's just say we have more than we did when we broke for the summer.
We have 7 of our own and 8 total. We actually have a border now. And it's the nicest horse. It's a 29-year-old horse named Pal. He is what is he?
He's an Arabian.
He's an Arabian, which is like a really crazy horse, apparently. But he's older, and so he's the nicest horse. He actually broke.
Crazy. I said they're hot-blooded.
Hot-blooded, whatever.
High-strung.
High-strung. Anyway, he broke out of the paddock a couple times, and he just walks like 3 feet over and eats the grass. And you just go pick him up.
Just to be able to have grass.
Yeah. So.
He's like, I'm escaping. Not far.
Yeah, he's been great. So.
We love him. He's sweet, sweet, sweet. So, all right, our next super chat comes from Tagamo Model Works for $5. Is this the first super chat? I'm sorry, Tag, it wasn't. I can't believe we're here again. Time flies. Missed you, Meredith. I missed you guys too. I thought about you all summer, and I followed the Finch Flock Facebook page, so I was watching what everybody was doing. Paul Floyd says, hello, Finch Flock. Welcome back, Meredith. Awesome to have Monday Night Draw here again. And you know what's also awesome? How many people are posting that they've already received their books? That's your cue.
For what?
Acknowledge that people have received their books.
People, yes.
This isn't the Dave turns his brain off show.
That's totally how I'm treating it too.
I know that's what you're doing.
I get to just sit and draw my picture. Yeah, the books have been coming out. I am right now just finishing up the last of my head sketches, which I promised Jason at Essential Sequential would be finished a week ago, and I promised to, which
He
I
wants to go on a motorcycle trip this week, and you know what the answer to that was?
and they need to be finished, and they will be.
He can't go if it's not done.
So, and I've also got 2 commissions, which straight up, they're not finished, but they will be this week because I can't go on my motorcycle
He
trip.
can go on his trip if his work ain't done.
But the head sketches are coming right along. I don't want to, like the remarks, I can't just hack
He doesn't
about.
hack anything.
I try not
We all
to.
know this.
You know what? There have been times I don't want to say that I've
Despite
never done it.
the summertime debacle.
What was the summertime
The
debacle?
bat signal.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Okay, so
He didn't hack it out. But it
so I did a Batman commission, which I put a lot of work into, and I was really happy with it. And then the bat signal in the sky, and I've done this a couple of times. It's up against the clouds, and so it's a little loose and kind of rough. And that's what I was thinking. Anyway, it didn't look good, and so
that's sitting on our counter right now.
it is. I
fix it.
Another thing that I'll do that before I go too.
Yeah, and I can get all the.
And that's like a 5-minute fix. But yeah, he sent it back. The person that got the sketch. And
he did not send it back. He was concerned about the quality of
actually,
the signal.
That's true.
And we, of course, offered to make it right.
Right. And yeah, he was very nice about it. And
There we go.
he was apologizing for complaining. And I'm like, no, like really, it's not how it works. You know, I mean, I put a lot of work into him, and I want to make sure that people are happy with him.
He just
of
loves
course.
you guys so darn much. Are you blushing right now?
No, I'm not blushing. I
just rolling
wouldn't
your eyes.
put things that way.
Are your eyes sore from not having practiced rolling all summer long?
I'm very fond of you guys. I'll put it that way.
You love them.
Come on.
I can say these things because I'm Meredith. You know what I can also say?
What's that?
Anthony G has a super chat for $4.99. And he says, welcome back, Finches. So glad to be back here. Finally. Mondays have purpose again.
I swear I wasn't here all summer. Just because you weren't here.
Greg L. Static Art has a super chat for $4.99. Welcome back, Meredith. I know he didn't put an exclamation point. At this point, I don't care. I'm making my own exclamation points. Hope you had a good summer. Dave doing Homelander. That's where the exclamation point came in. Starting off strong.
Yeah, everybody's been telling me how great the show is. Like, I've been hearing it, and you know,
we held off watching it because we heard it was very graphic, and we thought Meredith wouldn't like it.
Yeah, and
I'm like, you know what? Let's try it.
And there's also like
it was actually my vet who was just raving about it, just going on and on, saying how wonderful it was. I'm like, you know what? All right, let's try it.
And you met Garth Ennis. We had dinner with him. This is a few years ago now.
He's lovely.
He's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
And so you wanted to read Preacher. And I thought, oh, I don't know. Because I loved it. It's a great book. I mean, you guys know. But it could be harsh. And, you know, look, I try not to make a big deal of it. But we're Christians over here. And I thought, you know, she might not take that the best. But
Meredith did not read Preacher.
Right. So I was
not provide it.
I was a little worried about Homelander. And I didn't know how it would go over until I put it on. And, you know, yeah, it's a little graphic, but it's such a great show.
I don't think it's any more graphic than anything else on TV.
Oh, I don't know. It's pretty graphic.
I don't find it any worse than Game of Thrones or anything else.
You know what, though? I'll say this. Graphic, part of how you perceive that, I think.
It's not. Here's what I would say about it. It's not graphic for graphic's sake.
It's such a well-written show that it feels justified.
That's the word I was looking for. Right. It's not gratuitous violence. Everything that they do is very intentional and meaningful, and I think it advances the story in a significant way. And
I feel like we need to give a huge shout out to Derek Robinson too, who's the artist on and co-creator of The Boys, and a great guy and someone I've known for 2001. 2002, I think
21 years.
Yeah, a long time. We actually had a signing together at Dynamic Forces, which is Nick Brucci's company, along with Dynamite. And so I got to know him really well then, and you know, we've certainly talked over the years. Anyway, he's such a great guy, and he put together such an incredible book. Now we just need to see.
I'm just watching the show.
We need to see Transmetropolitan. which is another book by Derek Robertson.
Well, let's finish the boys first.
Well, it's not on. That's what I mean. It needs to happen.
Oh, okay. I see what you're doing.
Like it's not a show yet, but it should be such a great.
All right. One Mighty R has a super chat for $5. Mighty says, "Keep it up with some exercising, little guys." Speaking of exercising, how are your legs feeling today, Dave?
Yeah. So I started going to the gym. I've actually been pretty good. And today I thought, okay, you know what? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to bite the bullet and do some squats and deadlifts, which are hard for me. And I did that, and I did a couple of other exercises, and I always try and do cardio after, and I couldn't do it. I could barely get up the stairs, and still, like, I'm still a little rubbery, and I did so little weight. It's not like I'm there doing, you see the guys with the plates and the whole thing. I did almost nothing. And yeah.
More than you should have.
More than I should have.
That was a pretty good segue, though.
That was pretty good.
Before we go any farther, I want to give a thank you and a shout out to our moderator extraordinaires, Eric Grovart and Russ Hicks, without whom we could not do the show.
Yes.
They're the ones who keep you crazy people in line. You know how crazy the flock is. So thank you, Eric and Russ, for being with us week after week, and welcome to season 3, which you didn't even say, Dave. Welcome to season 3. 3 seasons. Who would have thought when I came downstairs to help you with your first show that we would be doing this 3 years later?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know this about me, but my follow-through rate on things is not strong. So
no.
Yeah, the fact that we've made it this far, and it wouldn't have gone so far without Eric and Russ and you. So
Well,
and
we know that you couldn't have done it.
And Jimmy Reyes, and it's
all you guys,
and
all our guests, past and present and future.
Yep. Rob Marzullo, like
everybody, Dan,
Dr. Rock,
Nick coming on multiple times. Yeah, it's been great. Random Pat has a super chat for $10. Random Pat agrees. It's great to be back. Dave, your video on the Loomis method was immensely helpful for me. I feel my drawing has improved greatly in the last year. Excited to show you new samples at the next critique stream.
Awesome. Well, that's great to hear. That was a really fun video to do. And so
Dave, can you move your microphone or turn your volume up? You're always quiet compared to me.
Okay, is that better?
Sure, let's go with it.
Well, part of it is I'm kind of probably not talking directly into it. There.
And you're quiet talking.
And
you're trying to prove something.
I'm trying. What am I trying to prove?
I don't know. Why don't you just project your voice? What do you get from talking into your chest? You have an audience. Talk to them.
That's how I let people know that I'm super cool.
Is that how you do it?
Sure.
Like, I can't. I just can't.
Right. All right. Okay.
Oh, it's Monday.
Yeah.
I'm already, busting your chops. Jamal Rashid is here with a super chat for $9.99. We're back, Finch Flock. My wife asked, did I miss y'all? And my response was, yes, I did. Glad y'all are back, but how can I send my art to be looked at by you? God is good. Amen. You're going to do a review stream at some point, right, Dave?
Yes, we need to
review critique thing.
And I planned on doing one this summer, and we got so lucky with the guests that we were able to get. I didn't do it. So yeah, that I need to plan that one soon. I'll talk to Eric about it. We'll see if we can get Robert Marzullo to come in, and maybe we can host that at his channel again. And the guys at howtodrawcomics.net, and yeah, it'd be great to do. It's been way too long. I say this every time, like, time passes.
It does. So Dan Genovese says The Boys is over the top graphic.
It is.
I can't believe that I don't feel that. Like, I mean, it's certainly an R-rated show, 100%. Am I so numb?
No, I really think that it's such a well-written show. Maybe you're numb. I don't know.
Maybe I don't really watch graphic stuff.
It's not
I
horror.
don't find it worse than anything else though. Like I felt like Game of Thrones was. Is that right? Game of Thrones. That's the right one, right?
Yeah, right. Sure.
I don't know. I think because I don't take it as like maybe literal. I don't know. Maybe I'm at the point of my children where I just see it as a CG. I just see it as a computer graphic effect, a computer generated effect, whatever.
Yeah.
I become numb.
This is a place where I have to say Homelander, the actor that plays him is so incredibly good.
Oh, he's amazing.
That I know I'm not going to be able to capture that in my drawing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Without like copying his face, which I don't really want to. It's not the way that I draw, but
no, but yeah. Creator has a super chat for $5. Creator says, Dave, can you help me? I'm trying to draw a denim vest like on Deacon from Days Gone. Can you show me how you would approach it?
Yeah. Okay. Sharpen my pencil. So I'm going to just kind of draw my chest shape here. And here's my neck. So I've got a collar like this. And then obviously the other side's going to be here. I'm only going to draw one side. It's cut off at the sleeves. And here's the bottom. So it's a very simple shape ultimately at its base. And I know that's not what you're asking because obviously that part is pretty straightforward. Let me just kind of give that a little bit more shape here. So it's got a part down here. I don't know parts of anything. It's got a seam here. I'm just going to quickly just kind of draw my seams in. There's a seam here. I don't actually know. Oh, you know what? It's got a pocket. Let's just do a pocket right here. So I'm just going to draw a square and then put a pocket there like this. It's got his motorcycle club stuff there. And there's another seam along here. I'm going to draw buttons down it. And this is still just really kind of establishing my baseline. My buttons aren't perfectly lined up. And since I have this shape like this, I need to do the same thing with the pocket because it's along the same fabric. Otherwise, it'll look a little strange. It's got a button here. And so I think the question that you're asking comes down to this part here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to start. I've got my lighting coming from above. I'm going to put shadow in where I know there's going to be shadow. So under here, there's definitely going to be shadow. I've got a line there. I'm not going to erase it. I would. I've got a shadow under here and under the pocket here just a little bit. Not too much because obviously it's not overhanging quite as much, but just a bit here. And so that helps a little bit right there. And then eraser. I'm going to erase that. Okay, so I want to bring this over and then kind of cut in just like this. It doesn't matter. I could have done it the other way. But the point is I want to give that something better than what I just did. I've forgotten how to draw. Let me try that again. I like it more like this. So I'm bringing this forward. And then this. And this right here, what I just did there is really similar when I draw like Moon Knight or something like that. I've got my folds going over the shoulder and I go like this, connect this here, and then connect this over like this. And I did that opposite again. I've forgotten how to draw. Because this shape is in front of this shape, it needs to go this way. There we go. So it's a similar kind of a thing that I did here. But because this is in front of this, I put this part over. Does that make sense? Hopefully, because
I'm not paying attention.
Okay, well, I wasn't asking you. So let me draw a bit of a, I'm going to spend way too long on this. I don't care. So I'm going to fringe this out a little bit. So I just want to break this up. And then under these shapes, I'm just going to put little shadows, and that gives it, you can see right away, it gives it a little bit of dimension, just like that. And now I'm going to draw some folds coming out from under the arms. And I'm just kind of, I don't know that, you know what, I would look at a leather jacket for how it's actually cut, but for this, it'll be fine. I'm going to draw along this seam here.
You said a jean jacket.
Or jean jacket, right, yeah. I would have to look at how it's actually, and then I'm just going in and I'm drawing little fold shapes. Eric Grove is looking at some, oh my gosh.
You gonna make it?
He works with Jeff Johns all the time. One of my favorite artists, a really great guy. We were just looking at some of his stuff and it's so good and my mind is going blank. Anyway,
you're not going to make it.
I'm not going to make it. So I'm going to double up this line here. Something that really makes a big difference with this kind of thing is if I draw one line, it looks pretty flat. If I draw two, it actually starts to look like a bit of a shape. And if I go a little thicker with that one line, it really starts to look like something. And so I'm going a little thicker on this side. I'm going to do the same thing here and double up this shape. I don't want that to be too big, and I can even break it up a little bit, but just enough. Gives it a lot of character, just like that. You can see how much character that has right away. I'm going to do the same thing here.
Puppy's going to cry the whole night.
Yeah, he is. He'll live. And now I'm just going to draw some kind of fold shapes in there. Gary Frank. I'm sorry, Gary Frank. He's such a great artist, and my mind just goes blank.
You're just so excited to have me back. Okay. I think it's time to
so there you go.
Wrap it up.
That's basically it. That's how I would approach it. And most of what I would do, really, that's it. It's a fairly simple thing to do. I've got a button here. I'm actually going to shadow just over the button, and that kind of pushes the button in. And if I put a shadow here and leave a gap between it and the button, it really looks like the button's kind of recessed. It's a trick I really like. So there you go.
Thank you very much for that tutorial that went on perhaps longer than it should have.
I know. We have a guest actually coming at 8:30 also.
So another reason.
Yeah, just for a few minutes. I talked to someone in Miami, and he had some really great advice I thought you guys would really benefit from. So I wanted to see if I could get him to come on and talk about it. So he was nice enough to come by.
Humani Jacobs, while we're waiting, has a super chat for $4.99. Season 3, Monday Night Draw. Dave, when you were an intern at Top Cow, what was it like for you day to day? What kind of work were you doing?
It changed. So when I started, I sat down and they just had me draw a pinup. And is like a make work project. Let's see what you can do. We'll give you an actual, no really tight description, but just enough to see if you can kind of pull it off. And if you can pull it off to a schedule too. So I didn't have infinite time to do it, but they want to see what you're capable of just as like a baseline. And so that was stressful. So I started out doing that kind of thing. Then Mark actually had an artist come in to do backgrounds for Cyberforce. And the artist that came in was unable to do it. He had other work, and it just, there's a schedule conflict. So some of us at the studio ended up doing some backgrounds. So I wasn't really hired to do it, and I wasn't really ready for it, but I jumped right into doing some backgrounds for Cyberforce. So my first credit is Cyberforce number 6. I did 2 pages of backgrounds, and Scott Williams inked it and really fixed it up, which was great. So my very first work I got to work with Scott Williams, which was pretty amazing. And he was actually right in the studio, so I could talk to him. And he said, "You did way too much here. Like, I'm going to have to erase some of this. I can't put all of this in. It'll just be mud." And so, yeah, it's such a great learning experience, you know. From there, I did finishes over Brandon Peterson, and I finally did my own book. I did Cyberforce. Ripclaw 1/2. It was 12 pages, which was an absolute nightmare. I mean, really, it was fine. It was so hard for me to do. And yeah, I you're asking how it was in the studio, though. We were all working in the studio
I said,
together.
what was it like for you day to day?
Oh, yeah.
So you're good.
I didn't have much of a day-to-day life. I basically went to the studio and drew. That was all I did. I woke up, and I went and drew. And I didn't do anything else for a couple of years, really.
So I'm coming to think that from the comments on the screen,
Yes.
The Boys is going to get more graphic.
Oh, really?
Anthony G says, ha ha ha, not graphic for graphic sake. Wait to get to this last season. And
they always have to up the ante.
Psycho Pomp says the comic books are super graphic, especially toward the end of the series. Russ Hicks says The Boys was a pretty rough watch in places. So there may be a point at which I tap out.
I hope not.
See how it goes.
I'd rather watch it with you, you know. I mean, if you do, I'm still watching it, obviously. But
Xander Malcolmson has a super chat for £1. Xander wants to know, Dave, have you heard the new Megadeth album? It's so good. Also, can we get Deathstroke or Leon S. Kennedy next week?
Sorry, who was the second one?
Leon S. Kennedy? I don't know who that is.
Me neither. And I feel like I should.
I'll Google it.
Okay. I have not heard the new album. And actually, I've been asked about it too. And it's like my favorite band. And it's half of my playlist on my motorcycle. And the problem is I never get around to updating my playlist. So I need to go into Spotify, find it, and start listening. And I've got
from Resident Evil.
Okay. Yeah, that would be cool.
All right. Adam Mayer has a super chat for $10. Just got my book today in time for the new season.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, at some point we're gonna start working on the next book. We really want to make sure this one's all completely done, situated. So that should be fairly soon, actually.
And I have to give a shout out to Russ Hicks, who is doing such a great job of reminding people that you have been doing advertisements for Comics on Coffee. And so I'm going to read Russ's little blurb because it's great. Comics on Coffee is a family-owned business providing organic, natural processed, direct trade coffee. Get a 15% discount on your order at www.comicsoncoffee.com. Discount code David Finch.
Yes, and yeah, thank you. And I just got some more. Actually, I got Dark Knight coffee. They have Dark Knight coffee with Jim Lee Batman art on the bag, and I have it upstairs. And I wanted to bring it down. I was planning on it today, and I totally forgot. Too much going on. I didn't do the intro, but yeah. And I haven't actually tried it yet either.
You were so overwhelmed by the thought of me being here tonight. You just love me so much.
That's totally what it was.
That's totally what it was. And there's nothing else different.
Right.
I'm giving you the feels, just like our first date.
Yep.
You're dying. James Lane has a super chat for $25 US. James says, I received the prints you sent me today. Thank you so much, Dave. You're one of my art heroes, and they mean the world to me. They're hanging on my dorm wall as we speak.
Well, thank you very much. That's great to hear. That's awesome.
And a super chat from, we love to love him, Atomic Art for $1.99. Guess who's here? Me! Hey, David Meredith. Hey, Atomic Art. So good. You've School of Art says, hey, Finches. I know I totally butchered that. So happy to see Meredith back on Monday to save Dave from keeping a conversation going.
Yeah.
You do your
Thank
best.
You. I do. Yeah, and I've got Eric here to help in the summer. The problem comes in when we're in the middle of a painting and both of us are just like, we're overwhelmed. Because especially when we had Eric Gist, we had Dan DeSantos, and I want to learn while I'm doing this stuff, you know? And so it's really difficult for me to remind myself that I'm live and we're doing a show, and I'm just really trying to follow along.
Dave, did you send your guest?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so you'll see him when he shows up.
Yeah, I said 8:30. So
okay. The Art of Wade King has a super chat for $5. Got my book in the mail today. Thanks, guys. Hope season 3 kicks off with a bang.
And he's here.
See?
And thank you very much. I'm sorry, who was that? I know that.
Oh, sorry.
You said the name, and I know the name. Like I know,
My
but
screen butt. Hold on. The Art of Wade King.
there you go. Wait, yeah, great. Sorry, Wade. Actually, I saw Wade.
Thank you, everybody, for the super chats.
I saw Wade a couple of times this summer, so which was very cool. All right, let me bring Paul in. I don't see a camera, so let's see what we got here.
Let me.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Just got
all right.
The camera.
So everyone, we have Paul Rashid. Paul Rashid is a doctor.
Dave's just gonna talk while Paul figures out the camera.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and we met this summer. He's working on a create your own book. I actually have an image from it that I want to show you guys. And actually, I think I'll go ahead and I'll wait. Depending on how long the camera takes, I might put it up just to cover the time just a little bit. But Paul he was a lot of help, and he had some advice that I thought, oh, here we go, we got him. All right, good to see you.
Hello. All right, very cool. How
are
you
doing,
David?
Yeah, let me do this. There we go. Sorry, I missed what you said.
Oh, just seeing how you're doing. It's exciting to be on season 3, episode 1.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. I've been looking forward to this ever since we talked this summer. Hopefully, you can give everybody a rundown. We were talking about finding artists, and this is a question that I get all the time on the stream: is how can I find work, and how do you find writers, and how do you find projects? And this was one that I was unaware of. I always say DeviantArt, but anyway, if you could give people some information about it, that would be great.
Yeah. I'll just share a little bit, give a little background, and then we can take some questions. So just a little bit about me. I am a psychiatrist. So I went to medical school and focused in mental health. I wrote a book in 2017, and growing up in the 80s and 90s, if you wanted to create something, you had to bridge a lot of barriers. Like for a book, you'd have to get an editor, a publisher. You'd have to get pre-orders. You'd have to store the books. If they didn't sell, you'd be, sometimes on the hook for them. And a lot's changed in the publishing world, in the last few decades, especially with, the internet. So then the point is once I made that book and I self-published it on Amazon, I realized, what else could I do? And I was collecting comic books since I was about 10 years old. I worked in the comic book store. So then right above me is the comic book collector. I used to do a lot of film. So I worked with a director, made the comic book collector short documentary film. That's on Amazon. And then finally, hit me like a brick that I wanted to write a comic book merging psychiatry and mental illness. And that's when I came up with the Red Ram. And it was actually, ironically, just before COVID, about 2019, actually, I started just sitting down, writing out the script. I originally kind of wrote it as like a feature-length film. And then once I finally wrote the script and I found an editor, and with him, I found an artist. What I found with artists is really leveraging the internet. Facebook for me has been the biggest thing. These groups are so powerful. There's so many people. You can literally in one post. I created a post for my second comic that I started writing in January, and within a week I had 40 submissions of portfolios, which was amazing to go through. So really the internet, and then of course how I met you was go to local cons if you can, and just meet other creators, talk to other fans, and just make connections because it's really the best way to find different artists, find writers, get a group, because it's one thing to make a book, but as you know more than anyone, it takes a team, and it's not just one person.
Yeah, well, and they say it's who you know, and there is truth to that. It can very much be who you know, but that's something you can control. I meet so many people at conventions, and you really get to know people that way. And all of you guys on the stream also, it's great to develop a relationship with you guys, and just putting yourself out there that way, it really makes a big difference. Now on Facebook, there was a particular group that that you were looking at in order to find artists.
There are several. I don't know them all by name, but there's like independent comic book creators. There's comic book artists. There's comic book writers. There's comic book editors. You know what? Let me find a few that I am a part of. And again, just like with each group, each one kind of does tend to have its own personality, and so some I gravitate more than others. Let's see.
I think it's interesting that you found your artist on Facebook, because that is exactly how I found my artist.
Yeah, it is. And you just put out
I just put out an email. I was looking for an artist,
but there are actual groups that you can go to, and that's why I really wanted to.
It's very underrated in terms of community, I think.
Yeah. And like I said, I mean, I've been using Facebook. I was an early adopter. I was in medical school in about 2004 when you had to have a .edu address to get on Facebook. But honestly, having been using it so long, I didn't realize the power literally to about a year ago or two, actually. So the other thing is, with my self-help book on mental health, though, if you don't market it and tell people about it, it could be the best thing in the world, best book, but no one will know about it. But I'm learning. I was posting my Red Ram images to my Facebook. I got kicked off, but that's when I realized how important it was, because I wanted to rejoin so bad just to get some questions answered in the group, in the editors group. That's how powerful I found it. And yeah. So some of the ones in here, I create comic books, digital artist group, comic creators and concepts. There's one even called this, artist jobs. But I think the one that I really liked was the indie comic artists and writers, because that was a group where where there's writers and artists, and I posted as a writer, and there was that collaboration.
And for artists starting out, getting into Marvel or DC or some of the big companies is really, really difficult. So it's such a great thing to be able to hook up with somebody that has it going on and is serious about putting together a book and is willing to collaborate. And it's such a great way to start. I know so many artists that started exactly that way. You can go to conventions and you can show your portfolio, and that can certainly work. But I think this is such a great way to do it. And it's a great way to be able to do it online. Hopefully we never have a lockdown again. Fingers crossed that we'll all be healthy. But if we do, it is so great to have that resource.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, So right now I have two artists. I'm working on two books. I'm hoping, fingers crossed. One thing I'm learning about doing a project on your own, an indie book, is it's about taking about 10 times longer than I thought. But so some resources. I mean, there is Fiverr, so there are those, and I think there's another one, Upwork, where you could use that platform to find some artists. The quality may not be as good. But you can see their portfolio. But you also have a little peace of mind there, because it is through the company. They will that the artist is gonna get paid once it's completed. But I really liked Facebook, so there, because there was so many more artists to pull from and more specialized in comics and had that passion. But again, I also made it a point, though, to each artist I really liked. I did an audio video call just to make sure that we had similar interests, similar alignment in the project, and just to get to know them. And I do use a very simple contract because it is professional. One thing I like, so I got to show you, in the last 2 years of me writing comics, is I've read about 10 books on how to make comics. I liked Bendis's book. He had a really good point about treating every project as your intellectual property and making sure, because what was it I just read, that even Youngblood is no longer with one of the original creators. So it's just crazy. You want to at least get something in writing. I don't know. Is that something you do, David, or you have your long-term work relationships with your inker? And
well, I've always worked for a Marvel or DC or publisher, so in terms of working with other artists, that's always been easy. Working with other writers for the same reasons has generally been easy, but I'm doing creator-owned right now. I've done creator-owned in the past, and yes, you do need to make sure the contracts are accurate and fair, and that can be a difficult thing. So you hate to get a lawyer, and it costs money, but it can certainly be worth it in the end. So the comic that you're working in that you showed me this summer, I've got a picture of it, and I wanted to show everyone. So, and every time I share, it's always an operation. So let me allow. Okay. So here's a picture. So can you talk about the book a little bit and give us a little information?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's the Red Ram. Imagine a aging vigilante with always chronic pain and injuries, fighting crime. And in the beginning issue, he gets tangled up saving a female who is an alcoholic and suffering from depression and a suicide attempt. So I kind of blur all these things together, and the Red Ram goes in swooping our other protagonist, Sophia. So like I said, I kind of merged my specialty of psychiatry, mental health, and tied it into a vigilante story.
And got a phenomenal artist to draw it. It looks really great. So where can you find the book?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now, actually, I'll tell you the best ways to connect with me. And this is just my growing interest in comics, and it was spurred by our discussion. Was I just started a Facebook page, The Comic Book Creator. So I took my documentary, The Comic Book Collector, and I stamped on a creator. And I think I started sharing a few videos about just tips and tricks. So any of your fans could go there. I'm going to try to put a video several times a week, and there I'll share part of my process. And so the comic's called The Red Ram, and it's also going to be a Kickstarter at the end of the year, hopefully a second project, which I have my second artist. We're about halfway through the pencils. So again, I'm doing the math. He is doing about 4 pages a week for me.
And pace. That's not bad at all. Well, that's great. So yeah, thank you so much. Hopefully we can have you on again when the Kickstarter is ready to go, and we can talk about it a little bit, and hopefully get it to do as well as we can help here anyway.
Absolutely. Well, thanks so much, and take care.
Yeah, thank you so much, Paul. Thanks for coming on.
You're welcome.
All right. You're up.
I'm up. So I think, if Paul had some great Facebook groups for those artists of you out there that are looking for work and hoping to find work. And I think that's really
it was great. Because I know that you looked for an artist on Facebook and you had a lot of success doing that, but to just be searching through writers' pages all the time, hoping to find something, seems very difficult. But to have actual resources out there and groups that you can go to, I thought that was great. And I was totally unaware of it. So I wanted to let you guys know. So thank you so much, Paul, for coming on and sharing that.
All right. Our next super chat comes from another beloved member of the Finch Block community, Dr. Rock Art, for $9.99. Welcome back, Meredith. Hope everyone had a great summer. I finished a book I drew and watched a million videos from Dave. By the way, great summer streams. Only Meredith was missing. Looking forward to Homelander.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Rock. And I really appreciate it. We have something coming up again, Dr. Rock and I. We were talking about it. So I'm very excited to collaborate again. It's been way too long. And he's always so much fun to collaborate with. So that hopefully will be coming up fairly soon.
There we go. All right. JDSCT has a super chat for $5. Summer streams are great, but I certainly missed Monday Night Draw. Season 3, let's go. Dave and Meredith. I think if I was one of my kids, I'd go, let's go.
Yeah.
Is that how Albert does it?
Yeah, that's exactly how they do it.
I feel like that's how I said it.
Yeah.
I say it. Oh, Yukoslav Art says, last season of The Boys almost got my wife to quit watching in the first episode.
Ooh.
Oh, good to know. That's good to know. So thank you for the warning, everybody. Thank you for the warning. Wallace says, hi, everybody. Hi, Meredith and Dave from France. I'm new in the chat. It's a great pleasure to be with you. Welcome, Wallace.
Yeah. Great to have you here. All right, let me get rid of the pencils and we'll move on.
Just making sure that my stream did not flip so I don't miss anybody. All right, I think I'm good. Here we go. Tecmo Monoworks has the next super chat for $10. The postal carrier just now delivered my Monday Night Draw book.
Crazy.
I am looking through it now. So cool to be able to hold and look at stuff I saw created. Thank you both for all you do.
Well, thank you so much.
Talk
that's
about
awesome.
timing.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, they're going out fast and furious. The real bottleneck right now is just me getting those sketches in,
Dave is the bottleneck.
which will be in a couple of days.
If he
And
thinks
then
he wants to get on his motorcycle.
that's right.
it'll
And then
be
Jason will
fixed.
have everything he needs to get everybody their package. So it was so much signing. Yeah,
You had a parrot to help you, though.
I had a pigeon.
It was a pigeon.
That's
sorry.
right. Yeah. Jason's daughter is rescuing a pigeon. The pigeon actually had a diaper. Did I tell you that?
Well,
Did I
nobody
tell
wants
you?
a pigeon. No, you didn't.
Okay, a pigeon
But
had
I
a diaper
understand
on.
why.
I didn't
Because nobody
realize.
wants a pigeon pooping in the house.
Yeah, did you know you can put a diaper on a pigeon?
You can put a diaper on pretty much anything.
Okay, well, it was a diaper on a pigeon.
Yeah, I believe it. We've diapered our dog. Why wouldn't you be able to diaper a pigeon?
Hey, our dog diaper was pretty jerry-rigged. This pigeon diaper,
It's a
it looked
pair of boys' underwear backward.
it looked like a professional kind of a deal. It was pretty impressive.
I'm sure, because people have birds in their house as pets all the time.
Yeah, well, there you go.
All right, the next super chat I'm going to read. It's for $10. All right, Meredith, let's fix this once and for all. It's pronounced Hollow Majin Buu 2. Hollow Majin Buu 2.
You realize she'll forget next week, right? Guaranteed.
Not Hollow Majin Buu 2.
She's gonna forget.
I'm going to try. I'm taking a picture. Actually, I'm going to take a picture of my phone.
Oh yeah, it's not gonna help.
No, I'm doing it right now. Taking a picture on my phone. And then I'm going to go back. Hold on. I need the camera. Camera, not photo. There we go. I just took a picture. And then, thank you for the super chat.
Yes, thank you very
New
much.
Megadeth album. New Megadeth album is pretty cringe, in my opinion. Listen to Trivium like I told you 100 times.
I know, yeah. And
I'm taking a picture of that too.
yeah, thank you. I've written it down like 100 times.
Trivium. Well, now I'm going to text it to you right now. Texting. Oh, there you go. Now there's no excuse. It better be on his next writing tunes. Texting to Dave. Actually, that's not how he is in my phone. He's in my phone as the name of a company.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
There we go. He's in my phone as the name of the school that our oldest used to go to because he has special needs and he always wants to call the school. So we just call Dave.
Yeah, and I say
Dave
hello.
Pretends to be
yeah.
the school.
And he's very happy.
He loves it. He's
so
thrilled.
yes.
The things you do as parents.
Yeah.
Kenny Wang is here. I'm stronger. I'm smarter. I'm way better. And less humble. Just kidding, Kenny. I love you. So good to see Kenny here. Look at everybody's here.
Yeah.
It's so good to see everybody. Random Pat has a super chat for $10. Dave, I'm currently drawing a 6-page short story in a crowd-funded book. It's unpaid, but I'm hoping it will get me more exposure. Do you think this is a wise move or should I wait for a real gig?
6 pages. I don't think that's a huge commitment. I know there's an argument to be made for not ever working for free. And I am hesitant to argue with that because you don't want to be taken advantage of, right? But all I can tell you is if it was me, I would do it. I don't know, take that for what you will. I do believe that every job that you get, every page that you do is your resume for your next job. And getting the opportunity to actually start to put a resume together, I think that's a good thing. And I'm struggling. I'm just going, with my lighting.
I actually think I was looking better now that you started.
Oh, you like it?
Yeah,
okay, good.
Loving it. All right. Next super chat comes from, and just so you know, I pulled out my handy pronunciation guide that I took on my picture on my phone. The next super chat comes from Holomajin Butu for $10.
Awesome.
Second part, Dave, do you have a rule of thumb for how you size your heads? I always make them too big for the body. And also, is there any chance you'll offer the book again for those who missed out? That one, you can buy the book now on essentialsequential.com.
That's right. Yeah, it's available for pre-order. They're not shipping out yet. We want to make sure that
everybody who did the Kickstarter gets their book first.
That's right. But you can pre-order it over at Essential Sequential. And the other question, I'm sorry,
rule of thumb on how you size your heads.
So a good rule of thumb, and I'm just going to throw this out there as like you've drawn your figure, you have a head, you're not sure, and so what's a good way to kind of double check it for yourself? So I'm just going to draw a figure. Here's my head. I'm going to give a nice big head. I'm going way too big, but whatever. That's the point. So here's an arm. And your figure needs to be fairly accurate. Ideally, probably a little more accurate than what I'm doing here, but so you've got your figure in, and try to imagine that it's drawn a little nicer than this one. And so a good way for me to say, okay, this head is way too big is if I measure that, and a way that I can do that, if I really want to be actually very accurate without having to break out a ruler, which I do, if I absolutely have to, I fight that as hard as I can. So I've got that kind of ticked out there. My knee ends here, and I want to basically be able to fit two heads into my shin. That's always a really good, because your legs tend to end up being the shortest, and that it can be a real problem. And so you can see that my head is way too big for that shin. So I'm going to go ahead and just size it down, and let's go about that big. And now it's going to line up with that shin much better. A body tends to be 8.5 heads high, 9 heads high, in that range. And you can measure out heads all the way down the body. That's fine. But just measuring along the shin, I kind of do it that way. And it actually really works for me. It's a really simple way without having to break out like full, measurements, which can be difficult on some figures. And you can't do that on every single figure. The other way to get around that really is to be doing sketching of other people's art constantly. So, look at Mark Silvestri or Jim Lee or whoever. It really doesn't matter, but an artist that draws very well. And the more you do sketches and keep them fairly basic of their figures and just do hundreds of them, your proportions will naturally start to fall in line. So, so many of these kinds of problems can be solved just by more study drawing. It's a very important part of what you do.
Beautiful. Thank you. Snap2CB says, it is 1:28 in the morning in the UK, and I'm going to watch the whole stream.
Well, thank you very much. It won't be too long.
It's not going to be too long?
No, we try to keep these 2 hours.
10 o'clock.
Right? 10 o'clock.
Meredith turns into a pumpkin.
8:54.
Yeah.
You know what? Whenever we have a guest, it always takes a little longer.
Well, also you just talk.
I know. But having a guest, the thing is though, Paul, he was such a great guy to meet him. I knew he'd be a really good guest too, and you guys would enjoy having him. So, I thought it was totally worth taking a few minutes to show you guys that. And I mean, I really learned something from it. So,
all right. And I'm sure that everybody in the stream was appreciative of it too.
Yeah.
Because everybody's always looking for new ways to get their work seen.
Yeah.
And find work. Toby Miley has a super chat for $1.99. Toby says, I missed out on the Monday Night Draw book, and I just ordered off of Essential Sequential.
Well, thank you, Toby. I really appreciate it.
HowToDrawComics.net has a $20 super chat. Always inspiring to watch you work live, Dave.
Thank you so much, Clayton. And thank you for coming by. It's very generous. And we need to do a review stream again soon. And, maybe something else. Like we really should talk about some other way to collaborate on something, and by the way, you guys all know.
I want to be honest here, people. He has no time. You just keep biting off more than you can chew. You're like,
quit being my time police.
I am your time police. Not the fun police.
All right. Well, let me just say this right now. Anyway, I think most of you guys are aware of howtodrawcomics.net and Clayton Barton.
Clayton is awesome. And I just don't want you to say, Clayton, we're going to do something. And then you never have time. You're better to not say it.
I know. Well, he's busy too. We're all busy.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway. You're not aware,
he's the kid that fills his plate at Christmas dinner and then leaves half of it. You just want it all.
Howtodrawcomics.net. It's on YouTube. Check it out. They have a lot of really great information. And ironically, interestingly, you were talking about proportion, and the best video on proportion that I've ever seen is
from Clayton.
From Clayton on howtodrawcomics.net. So check that out for sure.
All right. Scrolling through the chat. One Madiar has a super chat for $5. How's the progress on your creator-owned comic, Dave?
Actually, really great. So I can kind of get myself into a place where, people talk about artist block, and I've said how many times on here that I believe artist block is really just being, you just have to sit down and do the work. I mean, the work needs to get done. You can't afford to have artist block, and it's just not wanting to work. Or it's actually not just that. It's also a fear of, what if I draw a page that I love and it's like the perfect page? I'm so happy with it. It can be really difficult to get to the next page because what if it's not as good? And, what if the next issue fails and people don't like it and they don't want to read it, and you get in your head, and all that stuff can really start to slow you down. Well, anyway, I got a bit of artist block, and it was really just not wanting to draw. I just got a little lazy. So Meredith kicked my butt earlier this summer.
I mean, at some point, the mortgage has to get paid.
That's right. And so, I got through a bunch of the book really quickly. I'm really happy with the pages too. It's funny. Like I get myself working, and I feel like the pages actually kind of improve a little bit. Anyway, so it's really coming along. It's coming along well. It'll be finished. I wanted to say January.
Let's hope. Fingers crossed, people. You heard it here.
I've got 35 pages to go.
Yeah. Kenny Wang says, I don't think Meredith understood the I'm smarter, I'm stronger, I'm better reference. It's from The Boys. Kenny, I watch TV like your mom. I let it wash over me, and then I leave it.
And now she just thinks you're arrogant.
No. I do not. Stop it. But I never remember things from shows, ever.
Yeah.
When was the last time I remembered anything from any show? This is why I can watch shows over and over again.
I don't remember things either. It's not just you.
I'm going to make a sexist generalization. In my personal experience, guys generally tend to be better at honing in on lines.
And girls better at lyrics. Would you say?
Yeah, let's go with that.
I don't know if that's true.
I don't know.
Let's both make references about,
based on our own personal experience.
Yeah, that's great.
Not saying it's true.
No.
Putting the caveat out there. Not trying to be offensive.
Running out of ink.
Uh-oh. All right. Waiter Shush is here with the super chat for $5. Hello, Dinam and Flock. Glad to have y'all back. Waiting for my book to be shipped from Steve Clan McDonald to Singapore for me. I can't wait. Hater. Thank you for the super chat, Hater, and I can't wait for you to get your book either. Steve Clan McDonald is amazing. We love Steven.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's fabulous. All right. The next super chat. Oh, hate it when my screen flips. All right, the next super chat comes from Black Tiger 001 for $2. Please add to the list Spy X Family, Lloyd, Yor, and Anya. There's no list.
There is sort of.
There's no list.
What
At
happened?
this point, there's no list now.
Did we get through enough of it?
I don't have a list anymore.
Oh, because you have a new computer?
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't have a list anymore.
So, yeah, just so you know, everyone, we're totally wasting your time, apparently.
There's no more list. I lost it.
Well, we'll have
I
to.
did have a list.
We'll have to get that figured out again.
I mean, let's be honest. Dave just draws what Dave wants to draw.
No, not totally.
You remember what people say they want, and you're like, oh, I think I'm going to do this.
It's a mixture. I do what I want to draw for sure, definitely, but it's also mixed with what I.
But we do appreciate the suggestions, so we'll try to get another list going.
Which you're gonna forget. Like, why would somebody want to contribute to a list that you're gonna
I'm
lose?
just as bad as you, saying I'm going to do something and then I'm not going to do. I have a box full of paper that needs to be filed upstairs. That is literally an entire box full of paper that needs to be filed. So there we go. Oh, this is the season of the truth.
Oh, good. It's awesome.
Oh no, the season of the truth.
We went one season too many.
One season. That's when they're like, and it was season 3 when the rails fell off.
Yeah.
Sean Jensen has a super chat for $49.99. Hey Dave, I just want to say thanks for everything. I've been watching your videos and practicing what you said while looking at your Ascension comics. People ask how I've been getting better so fast, and I always point them to your videos.
Thank you very much.
Thanks again.
Yeah, thank you for
the very generous super chat, Sean.
And the shout out too. Yeah, it's great. I feel like the YouTube channel is doing really well, which I'm thrilled about. The last video seems like it can be a little difficult for me to know what to do that will do well, and it's a mixture between I want to do the stuff that I'm really motivated to do, but there are times when it's not maybe the most useful, and I kind of find out what is the best stuff to do by what you guys watch. And so I was very happy to see the last one did well. And so I'm going to do more kind of along that line. Anyway, I'm rambling. Sorry, but yeah, things are going well. I'm very happy. How about that?
All right. Diego guy has a super chat for $10. Dave, I'm going to New York Comic Con with some samples. This is my first time bringing samples to a con. What is the most respectful way to ask you pros for feedback? And what should one's realistic expectations be?
It's always going to differ depending on who you talk to. Some people are very receptive to that. And I found this when I was trying to break in. I talked to artists that were rude. I mean, truthfully, I'm not going to name names, obviously, but I talked to one artist who is a legend and who I love to death and really nice guy. And I think he was having a day, and he still gave me some of the best advice I ever got. Really good advice, but he was very short with it. He was annoyed with my work. So, you have to have a thick skin. You can't ignore what people say if they say it in a way that you don't like, because some of the best advice you can get comes from people that might not say it in the best possible way. And I would say, ideally, what you want to do is bring 3 pages. Any more than that, and it can be very difficult because, artists are at the show, and editors and everyone is at the show really for their own ends, also. And so when it takes too long, like I know I'll look at, 3 pages, 4 pages, and then it keeps going. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I've said what I feel like I can say. And I feel so rude to not look at everything. But there is a point when I have to stop. So you don't want to put people in that position. You will get the best feedback, I think, around 3 pages. And if you show something that has backgrounds, some people in just regular clothing, which work on that, all of you, and me too, I'm still working on that. It's such an important thing. You need to be able to do that. Cars, different things, get that all in there as well as you can. And then if you can get, my opinion, one thing out of every person that you talk to that is helpful, even just one thing, it's gold. It's so absolutely worth it. So, don't look at it and say, okay, hopefully this one person will solve all the issues that I have with my work. You really just want that one little bit of advice that's actionable. And the way to do it respectfully is just ask. If somebody's going to be a jerk about it and not look at your work,
that's on them.
That's on them. It really is. So it's like, I used to have a Jeep. And I didn't know this when I bought a Jeep, but if you have a Jeep, it means you have to wave at every other person on earth that has a Jeep. Did you guys know that? I wouldn't have bought one. I hated it. Anyway, so now I have a motorcycle and it's the same. You have to wave to every other person. And I'm always so awkward. I'm like, I'm going to wave and they're not going to wave back. And then I feel like a fool. You know what? I just wave. And some people don't wave back. I don't care. It's not like they're saying, oh, you're a loser. So just ask.
What that means?
Yeah, I do. All right.
Thank you, Barbarian, for reminding me because I forgot.
All right, so it's time for the book of the week.
It's time for the book of the week.
And I got some great books this summer.
Book is what we seek. It's time for the book of the week. That's all I got.
Good. So I got some great books this summer, and I actually got this one more recently. I got this book along with The Fifth Beatle by James Robinson, which I showed. We had a James Robinson stream just 2 weeks ago, which you should check out. He's such an incredible artist, and he had a lot of really great things to say and really useful stuff. So I showed his book there. I was actually waiting for Monday Night Draw to show that one. So I've got this one, and you guys know this book. This is Black Sad. This is the new one, though. This came out not that long ago, and I don't know. I feel like this is the best stuff that he's done. Like, this is the best volume of this book so far. I don't know if I'm just biased because it's new, and so I'm just so excited about it. But in some ways, I feel like this is a bad book of the week for me to do just because I don't even know how to comment on it. It's so beyond my understanding. He's got watercolor, which I don't do well at all. Incredibly done. He does everything. All the inks are his. And he's got animals. I mean, that face right there. They're all so incredibly done. His scenes, this is all a lot of people, but which is amazing. But he does different lighting schemes for different scenes so beautifully, and just compositionally, this is such a great shot. It's absolutely spot on perfect. This is such a great shot. I love how he's composed this. He's got these guys framed amazingly well. There's not a weak panel in this whole book, and it is 59 pages, which is for work of this kind of, and you can see, I mean, I'm at the end of the book and it doesn't get weak. There's not a weak page in here. Some of the best stuff you'll find anywhere. And I don't know where you would even go to learn how to do this. Just in terms of drawing the animals and the cartooning, I mean, it's just so beyond what I understand. So I wanted to show you guys this one kind of with the understanding that I don't understand it either. It's just beautiful work. So this is a book for me. Like, there are panels like this that I can get so much out of just from my own artwork. I find drawing sewers is a really difficult thing in terms of lighting, getting it all to work, and seeing an artist like this layer. And you can see he's layering his shadows. He's got a light. This is dark. It's all fairly dark, but he's got a light layered onto a dark. And then he's got his light here that really focuses on his main figure. And then this is a relative light here going to a dark, and then to a light and to a dark, and it's all layered back. And we talked about that before. You can create so much depth in a panel just by layering your lights and darks. And he just does it incredibly well. And he makes it look so easy that it just seems like it just has to be that way, but it doesn't. This is a highly skilled artist that is just making this stuff look easy. The kind of framing that he has, and this is something that I've talked about before too, it just is so consistently beautifully done that it's hard to comment on. So yeah, it's just an amazing book. So yeah, there you go. My book of the week. Highly recommend you guys pick this one up. it's actually really heartening for me that this kind of work is being produced now. I think we're in a great time in the industry in comics. So there you go. So this is by Juanjo Gardino. I always say Gardino because I'm sure that I'm saying the first name wrong, and I apologize. But yeah, just beautiful work. There are a few volumes of this I really recommend you get all of them. They're all really this good. I think this is my favorite. So yeah, there you go. Book of the week.
Beautiful. Sometimes you just want a book of the week that's
just something I'm just excited about.
Looks great.
Yeah. You saw it, right? Did you look up?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I actually paid attention.
Have you ever seen a comic like that? I mean, really amazing.
Oh, it was stunning.
Yes.
Artsy Bible Nerd has a super chat for 99 cents. Artsy says, "Welcome back, Finches. I will be back with you on Monday nights. Long story, happy ending." Well, I'm so glad that it was a happy ending, and
then we have you back.
Have you with us.
That's right.
Welcome back, Artsy.
It's good to have you here.
Everybody loves Spy X Family. So maybe draw some Spy X Family.
Yeah, for sure. I'll have to check it out. The amount of things that I'm just not aware of is way too long. Like, it's too long a list. This is what happens when you get old, apparently. You just get more and more out of touch.
So true. The older you get. I remember thinking, I'll never be my mother.
Oh, yeah, she's her mother.
Yeah, 100%.
That's not so. Your mother's great. So,
well,
you could do a whole lot worse.
I really could.
I get along so well with Meredith's mom. Every time we visit, she does watercolor and really very nice stuff. We actually have a bunch of them up in the house. And so we talk about the watercolors she's working on, and I talk about some of the work that I'm doing. And Meredith talks to her dad about construction. So yeah, that's how it goes.
Great balance.
It is.
Adam Moyer paid $2 to tell me it was time for the book of the week. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you very much, Adam.
Sorry,
we remembered.
Moyer, but I meant Mayor.
Mayor. Well, thank you very much, Adam.
Thanks, Adam.
I appreciate it. And I would have forgotten. Meredith didn't forget.
Well, I forgot.
Oh, did you?
The stream told us. Barbarian was like, it's time for the book of the week.
Fortunately, this wasn't a week where I'd forgotten to pick one out. That's happened.
That's good. Oh, and more truth. More truth bombs.
Uh-oh.
The truth shall set us free.
No, maybe not.
Somebody said that. Can't remember. I was farther back. Who was it? Meredith the Truth. That was JDSCT. It's true. Truth is free. Clouds and Coils has a super chat for $1.99. Finally made it to a live. Yay! Welcome, Clouds. Welcome to the live stream.
Yeah, great to have you here. That's not what I wanted to do. Darn it. Oh, well.
All right. Just scrolling through the screen. I just want to make sure before I start reading from the chat that we don't have any more super chats that I have missed. Oh, you know what? It's after 9 when the yawns start coming.
The coughs end and the yawns come.
Begin. All right.
This is always a really difficult thing for me. When I'm drawing a figure without the underwear on the top, you kind of have to finish out this detail just a little bit more. And it's a touchy thing because the last thing you want to do is end up drawing attention here, obviously. And so finding the right level of balance can be really difficult. If you guys want a recommendation, I recommend Alan Davis. He does it really, really well. Captain Britain. But yeah, it can be a tough thing. Which is why I prefer characters that have the underwear.
You love underwear.
I remember I got to DC and they got rid of all the underwear, like on Superman.
So mad when they got rid of the underwear.
It breaks up the line. I was so unhappy. But eventually I got comfortable with it. But yeah, it was tough. I was pretty upset. Also, I got to DC. I'd wanted to draw at DC for so long. And I was thrilled. I mean, look, come on, I can complain about anything. But for characters to change and be different than, you know what I mean? Like you have this idea going in, this is what I'm drawing. And now that it's like slightly different, I was mad. So when people say they don't like it when, characters change or whatever, I understand.
Oh, I'm being reminded. Meredith, it is time to tell us to like. It is time to like. I forgot to say that because I only have the chat on my screen right now. So I don't know how many likes. So let me look. We have 472 people watching, 417 likes. I am going to be, I was going to be 418. Nope. 422 is Meredith. It is that time of night for me to tell you. Thank goodness. What would I do without the stream to remind me of all the things that I do every week? I'm so out of practice for the summer. So if you have not already, hit that like button. It is time to do so. And 279,000 people, Dave. That's how many subscribers you have. If you are not already subscribed to David's YouTube channel, what's wrong? Why? That's the only question I can ask you. He has so much amazing content, and clearly 279,000 people can't be wrong. Hey, Mikey, he likes it. Click that subscribe button. That is so old. How many people will get that reference? What cereal did Mikey like?
How many people would want to admit to getting that reference?
What cereal, people, did Mikey like? It's like the Where's the Beef lady.
Yeah.
I'm almost that old now.
I think it's actually earlier than Where's the Beef.
Oh, it totally is.
I watched the Where's the Beef. I saw it was on YouTube, So if you're not familiar with that one, it's an old Wendy's commercial. Anyway, it was huge. It was such a big deal. And then they ended up doing a million different versions of it. And it was craziness.
What was the LMFAO? Is that the group that ever it?
I don't know.
They were the guys, they were a song, and they're like, what's up? They did all that.
Okay, I truthfully don't know, but
they did a Where's the Beef, I felt like.
Did they? Okay.
I think they did.
Well, anyway, you watch it now and it is so
not funny.
Not funny. And you think, wow, what were y'all thinking back then? But
no, we didn't have YouTube.
You can never go back. That's what it is. Probably still be funny now.
Sometimes you can. I can go back all the time. That's why I rewatch shows.
Oh yeah, Caddyshack? Yeah. That'll never get old.
Oh, Adam says it's Meyer, not Mayor. So I think I was right when I said Meyer. I don't know. Thank you, Adam, for correcting me with the super chat. We love you. This is another season of Meredith butchering names.
Yeah.
Welcome to Monday Night Draw, season 3. Nick from Detroit says, Meredith Finch, how are the chickens and horses, and how is the Finch farm growing? The Finch farm has been under construction this summer. We've added out. The sheep are moving out of the barn. They now live outside in their own sheep shack that Meredith built herself with my 14-year-old summer student. I'm quite impressed with it. I had to learn roofing angles and everything.
Yeah, it came out great.
Put on a metal roof.
Still standing and everything.
It's not going to blow down. Did it on 24-inch centers. So, yeah. I learned lots of construction lingo. If I didn't learn how to do stuff from my dad over the last year, then I was wasting my time and his.
And a duck enclosure. You made
build a little enclosure for that one's just thrown together. It's just a couple T-posts, no big deal.
All right.
Built some more fencing, built some gates, my own wooden gates I built. Horses are good. Chickens are good. Actually, I'm selling eggs now. I have like 3 or 4 clients. So now I'm waiting for the ducks to start laying. I need to get a duck box built actually, because December they'll start laying. So we're getting close. Although I feel like maybe their duck house might be a little small when I see how big those ducks are. They are enormous.
So yes, it's an upcoming project.
Might be next year. New house for the ducks. Although they certainly won't be cold this winter because they'll all be huddled together.
In a tiny little duck house.
In their tiny little house. They'll heat it up like gangbusters. I might go down there if I'm cold. Clouds and Coils is another super chat for $4.99. Have to thank Dave and Rob from Ram Studio for getting me back into wanting to draw comics again after a 10-year break to do life.
Well, thank you very much.
And Robert Marzullo is awesome.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, he's a great resource. And he's got, I don't know how many videos. I remember him saying he had over 700 videos, and that was 2 years ago when he mentioned that. So by now, yeah, he's got a absolute library of quality content.
Yeah. Guess who's on the stream right now? Hanging with us all.
Ooh.
Welcome, Nick Barucci.
Hey, Nick.
We love Nick.
Oh, well, great to have you here, Nick.
And what a great night to come, Nick, since we're giving all the boys love. And Nick, obviously, publisher of Dynamite Comics, who is rocking it with the boys comic.
Yeah.
Not for Nick, we wouldn't have the Awesome Boys TV show and comic. Nick just has like a knack for finding those gems.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He's a treasure. You're a treasure, Nick. All right. Michael Johnson Curry has a super chat for $4.99. Hey, David Meredith. Is it just me, or is it harder than ever to reach editors and publishers nowadays? Is this a new trend, or has it always been this way? Michael, from my own personal experience, I can tell you that as a writer, if an editor does not want to work with you, they do not get back to you. It can be hard. It's incredibly difficult to feel like you're on the outside.
Yeah, and not knowing what they're looking for at a particular time.
How do you fix what you're doing? What do you need to do? Constantly soul searching. It's very, very difficult. So I don't think it is a new trend. I think it's just...
Well, it is and it isn't. My contact with editors is a lot less than it once was. It used to be on the phone. I would talk to somebody from Marvel every day, and now I get email, and it's less often. So I think they're overworked in a way that they weren't years ago, which is not great. But I mean, that's such a trend with business. Like they're taking on so much, and so yeah, things fall through the cracks. And definitely when you're looking for work, for them, from a editorial deadline perspective, that can fall through the cracks for sure. And it's very frustrating, but it does happen for sure.
We have a super chat from Nick for $100.
Oh man, Nick, jeez. Oh,
Nick
thank
says,
you, Nick.
Loving Dave and Meredith's show. I usually catch it later, but tonight for some reason, Homelander popped up on my YouTube feed. As Meredith has said, hit that thumbs up. Likes are free. Support is priceless. Beautiful, David. And love the farm photos as well. Much love. Aw, we love you, Nick.
Yeah, I haven't seen Nick I've done
years.
Well, I've been back to some conventions, but I haven't seen him yet. So
Years.
Hopefully I'll see him soon.
Rike Ingles 123 says, Meredith, you were born to be a horse-loving YouTube entertainer. Is this a compliment? I'll let you decide.
I'm switching pens. Hold on. This is a new one, but it's just going on thick. I'm going to try another one.
You need to wear it out a little bit.
I know. When they work, they just work. And every once in a while, there's so much like quills used to be. So we all used to use a Hunt's Mapping Point 102. That was the quill that everybody used for traditional inking in comics. And every once in a while, you just get a bum quill, and it just is what it is.
For the new people on the
already
stream,
so much
Dave,
better.
What kind of pen is it?
This is a upside down. It's a Tombow. It just says Tombow. Tombow calligraphy pen. This is the hard tip, so it's blue. If you type in Tombow into Amazon, I just get these off of Amazon. So type it in. Most of them that I keep finding are the soft, and so it's a black body with a gold symbol right here. This is a silver symbol. I like the hard because I don't have the hand control. If you have better hand control, or if you feel like you naturally don't press too hard, then the soft is actually better. But for me, I have no choice but to use the hard.
So
I press too hard.
we have another familiar name in the chat tonight. I'm still waiting for my t-shirt from him.
Oh, Jimmy.
Welcome, Jimmy Reyes. Hey, Jimmy. Hope you had a good summer. Welcome to the chat.
Good to see Jimmy here. Jimmy is working on some more Dragon Rage stuff. And actually, he sent me some pages just a little bit ago. I really want to, at some point, in the next couple weeks, I really wanted to see if we could get Jimmy on here just to show us some of what he's working on and some of the progress with the book. It's looking really amazing. So, yeah, good to see you here, Jimmy.
So John D. Harvey wants to know if we have any mini donkeys yet. John, we only have a mini pony. I don't have enough room for mini donkey because I have 8 horses and 8 stalls.
And sheep.
You know what that means, Dave?
What?
We need to build another barn.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what that means. No, that's not what that means.
Work harder.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the problem.
No, the problem is I don't have time for more than we have right now. My days are full. This is a good number.
Yeah, it
Plus,
is.
we'll be adding when we have babies. Baby horses will be so cute. Maybe cuter than mini donkeys. No, nothing's cuter than a mini donkey.
They're pretty cute. We don't need
They're
one.
so adorable. Maybe someday.
Never.
Someday we'll have a mini donkey. Xander Malcolmson has a super chat for $1. David, what do I do when I know I'm not quite at the level, but most of the learning resources I find don't really do much for me?
I think you need to be systematic at that point. And so you need to try as much as you can. Okay, so I'm contradicting myself. You do need to try as much as you can to figure out what it is that you need to still work on, where your weaknesses are, and then just focus on those. You know, if your arms just don't really look as good as you feel like they should, focus on that and just, you know, keep drawing them. Look at different artists that do it well. Look at life. I really recommend looking at different artists because they break it down in a way that can be really useful. So, and you have to know artists. All the artists that you like, they look at other artists too. So, and you can see the carryover anatomically from one artist to another. Frank Frazetta was such a huge influence, but he was also influenced by artists before him, like Hal Foster and quite a few others. So, look at other artists. Don't look for tutorial stuff at that point. If you feel like you're past that point, and you know what you need to work on, just focus on that. And then the other thing is to just be systematic. And that is your backgrounds, they can be better. And so spend some time, you know, drawing some backgrounds and learning perspective and really honing that. Your composition can be better. It can always be better. And so hone that and spend time drawing samples, but also draw upper bodies, male upper bodies, draw arms, draw legs, draw, you know, and devote time to each one. So, you know, in the morning you wake up and you spend time drawing sketches from other artists. So you do like gesture drawing and then do a bunch on your own and keep practicing that skill, like practicing playing guitar. It's similar enough. And then work on specific areas of anatomy. And, you know, work on drawing women if you're not as good at drawing women. Be mindful of the fact that there are always artists that are going to be better at you than drawing everything, and then try to take what they do well as you can. There are artists that do things so much better than I. Well, for instance, the book of the week, and I'm wasting my time trying to, like, I'm never going to do what he does that well, but I could certainly get a lot out of that book. And so you need to find the artists that really resonate for you and pick up what you can from them, and steal it and make it your own. And if you pick up from enough different artists, you're not being derivative. And this is how you do it. So that's what I really recommend. You need to be self-driven in your study at this point.
Good advice. Dennis Kelly has a super chat for $5. Hey, TNM, ENR, and the flock. So awesome to have Monday Night Draw back. And of course, welcome back, Miss Meredith. Thanks, Dennis.
Thank you very much. It is good to have you here.
Are you sure?
No.
You're like 50% yes, 50% no.
Oh, no, it's good. I'm glad to have you back.
Oh, thanks. I'm glad to be back. Mako Church has a super chat for $5. Hey, Dina, I'm glad to be back to the Monday Night Draw. Dave, Homelander looks fire. I
Thank
finally
you.
have something to look forward to on Mondays.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
And he didn't just say fire. He was like, fire, fire, fire. 3 fires. Not just 1 fire, but 3 fires.
Oh, so it's the picture.
Yeah.
The emoji.
Yeah, the emoji fire, which is even more like fire.
Listen to me. The picture. I'm such an old man.
Hey, you are 50 now.
50 years old.
Big 50.
I was talking to my son because I told him what he's going to the gym, a different gym. His buddies are there. And I told him what happened. Like I could barely walk. And I told him how much weight I was lifting. And
when
he
did
was
you see it, Brett?
Lunchtime. And he was laughing at me about it. And then he was giving me advice like, are you taking creatine? Are you doing that? I'm like, no, slow down. 50 years old,
Yeah, he's all about getting the bulk.
Yeah, he is. He's bulking right now.
Nick Brucci wants to know if we're going to New York.
I am.
Dave is.
Meredith won't be, unfortunately, but I will be. So if you're there, hopefully we can, get together and say hi and,
Eventually I'll leave.
catch up a bit.
I can't bring myself to do it yet. I need to find somebody trustworthy who I can trust.
Trustworthy who you can trust.
That's right. Trustworthy who I can trust.
Yeah.
Those are not mutually, they don't cancel each other out.
I'm pretty
Not
sure
a
they
dou-
do,
it's
but
not like a double negative.
okay.
And that's the way it is. So
Right. That's
the
why
way
I
it
just
is.
said, okay.
I
You
said
think
it.
I want to argue with that?
So, especially after 9:30, you don't want to argue with me.
Nope.
It's just not rational.
No, we're all just moving on.
We get into the giddy what? All right.
When I get one of these pens that works, I can do everything. I don't even need to go to the smaller pen. But when they don't work, and I fought with this for so long, like you don't realize just how much you can get out of these pens when they're working properly. And so I would end up doing half the picture with my tiny little, these ones. But it's so much faster to use these when they work well. And this one's working well.
All right. Kate Lane says, I got my Monday night draw book today. It's amazing. I love it. I didn't know I was going to have the book of the week index at the back. I plan to make use of that.
Awesome. Yeah, that's all Eric.
All Eric.
Yeah, Eric put all that together, which was...
Kenny Wang is bailing on us. He says, Flock, I'm going to sleep. Have fun. I got to wake up super early tomorrow. Not earlier than me, Kenny, I bet. What's super early? 6 o'clock.
Did it zoom?
What happened?
I'm zooming. I'm zooming in.
Why are you zooming?
Because I'm doing rendering and...
Oh, okay.
Okay, I think there. All right. By the way, I'm using my old camera. I don't know. Months ago, I switched to a different camera. It is a Elgato Facecam, which was great, but it's not HD, or it's not 4K. Because the camera that I'm using right now, you can see it here. This is a Brio. It wasn't working with my computer, but it's kind of working now for whatever reason. So
we're just rolling the dice right now, is what you're saying.
No, I've been using this for a little bit. It's been working just fine. So whatever problem they had, apparently with Windows 11, they got sorted out.
Good. Extreme maybe wants to know if my horses are just for fun.
Yeah, nobody has horses for anything.
I mean, they're my job. This is my new job. This is actually my job.
Yes, honey. Meredith is going to be breeding horses. So she got 2 new horses this year, 2 females. One is less than a year, and another is 2 years. So
You're not saving yourself, by the way.
She's got 3 females, and she's going to be breeding them, which, makes it her job. Okay, so you tell you.
Training horses, riding horses, breeding horses, taking care of horses, farming, hay, building. That's a job.
Point being that just because it's a lot of work doesn't make it a job. It's a...
I get paid every month, not by you.
Yes, that's true.
So what's the definition of a job?
All right, fine. It's a job.
Oh, accepting it.
Let it go.
No. We're going to have a conversation after the stream tonight.
Oh, I can't wait. That's great.
Get no respect around here. No respect, Rodney. Henry Jeremic says 8 horses. Meredith can now draw and quarter 2 people at the same time. Well, I know one who's going to get drawn and quartered, Henry. Tomorrow.
I could not imagine that you say you have 8 horses and that's the response. It's the best. Wow, you can draw and quarter 2 people at the same time now.
Yeah.
Henry, you are out of your mind.
Greg Alice Static Art has a super chat for $1.99. Any tips for connecting the arm with the bicep up? Connecting the arm with bicep. Connecting up the arm with the bicep? Connecting the arm with the bicep up.
Yeah, it's so like the bicep into the shoulder. If you raise the arm, and I'm going to do that. So here's my body. I'm on the screen still. And so I've got my arm coming out this way. And so I'm just going to quickly draw the anatomy for that. So here's my chest. Here's my shoulder. And my chest connects into the shoulder like this. That is a little bit more simple because you really see that connection there. And so let me draw the bicep connecting here. You can see a little bit of the tricep at the top, depending on the angle. And the inside of your arm, I'm showing it as if you can see it. You can't see it, but on the inside, it connects much lower. So it goes like this. And Bridgman is really good. His arm diagram really shows that well. So I recommend that, George Bridgman. So there's my bicep. It's actually 2 muscles, which is quiet. It's called a bicep. I still just draw it as 1 muscle. It connects in up like this. And then it's got a little connection underneath, and you can see the bottom of the bicep underneath it like this. And so it all connects underneath, and it's pretty easy to kind of figure out that way. When you lower the arm though, and I'm just going to do it here. Let me erase some of this jacket so we can, this is where people tend to have a little bit more trouble. So I've got my shoulder here. I'm going to draw that shape here. And I've got my chest, and that connects into my shoulder like this. And then finishing that shape up underneath, it can be a little bit of a challenge. So this is really all it does. I wish I could make it more, like from this angle, more of a, I wish I had more of a definitive rule, like, you know, this is how you always make sure that it connects under. But what you need to know is that your shoulder, if you don't draw this line, and so you just draw this as one big shape, connects over the bicep like this, and the bicep connects underneath. So you don't see, and I've seen people do this, and I've actually done this kind of mistakenly too. So I've got my shoulder here, and then I'm going to draw my arm, and then I'm going to draw the chest. You would not see that. So you want to make sure to connect your chest up to here, and then your bicep connects inside there. So I hope that's helpful, and I hope that's what you meant.
All right. Adam Meyer has a super chat for $5. Just got done looking through my new book, Worth Every Penny, Finch Flock Rules.
Thank you very much, Adam. And Meyer, not Mayor.
That's what I said.
I know. Just correcting you
like
anyway.
Oscar.
Like Oscar dot.
Oscar Meyer.
Oh, okay. Right.
That's how I remembered it.
Perfect.
My baloney has a first name. All right. Sorry. Kevin Mandeville says Dave is going to need a separate flock line at his conventions moving forward. Like a fast pass express lane. Except how do you know that you're in the flock? You need a flock card.
We have t-shirts. Now I'm trying to sell you guys something.
No, you need like a little card.
Right.
Like your Blockbuster video card.
Well, I'll tell you guys what. I'm not drawing Batman right now. when you're drawing Batman, yeah, lines can get pretty crazy. Not drawing Batman, lines never too bad.
Extreme maybe says, don't worry, Dave. My goal for the summer was to bench press 400 pounds. At 365 pounds, I don't think I'm going to hit 400. Maybe not this year.
Yeah. By the way, nice to meet you in Colorado Springs. Extreme maybe. Yeah, 400 pounds. That's a good, few hundred pounds more than I'm doing. But you know what? The thing about weightlifting, like, I'm just glad to be back in the gym. And so it's good to have goals, and it sucks to not be able to hit them. Like, it's what keeps it fun. I mean, goals are a good thing, but my most important goal is just being in the gym and just kind of getting back to trying to be more healthy.
This might be my favorite comment of the night.
Okay.
Hold on, where is it?
My favorite comment of the night. I can't remember it.
No, because then my screen blipped. Blue Teddy narrations. I've never watched a man dig his own grave on stream before.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And if you think this is over,
it's not over.
Yeah, I know.
Larry Lambert, Dave's in the horse house now.
Yeah.
Definitely need an extreme maybe. Definitely need a ninth stall for someone to sleep in.
And the problem is, once it was said,
I didn't mean it to come out quite as demeaning and condescending as it did. I know.
No, and then there's I really was fighting with myself to find a way to fix that one, but I'm like, I don't know. So it is what it is.
I forgive you.
Really?
No, but
it means it's only going to be worse next time. Just so you know.
If I forgive you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike Snitzer has a super chat for $20. Hey, Dave and Meredith. I've started a niche shop, Original Art Comics, my first DC exclusive variant for Mark Silvestri's Batman and Joker, Deadly Duo 1.
That is awesome. And great to see you here, Mike.
Legendary Artist News on 9/19. Excited. Next 2 days, use Finch Flock 10 off in the shop above.
That's for Mike's.
Yeah. Mike's shop.
Well, maybe we can put that up. That would be kind of nice.
Greg L. Static Art has a super chat. I'm hesitant because we need to be careful to clarify, like to check beforehand to advertise stuff.
Yeah, but it's Mike Schnitzer.
I know. I'm just saying.
Okay, but it's.
I don't open.
Fair enough, but it's Mike.
Yeah, I know it's Mike. But we all hear what
I hear what you're saying.
I always have to be the one to
All right.
Put the pause. But congratulations, Mike. And of course, everybody, Mike's offering the Finch Flock 10 off. So if you want to get that variant, then go to the Original Art Comics.
Yes. And Mike is a great guy. So, you can feel good about doing business with him for sure.
Greg L. Static Art has another super chat for $1.99. Greg says, very helpful. Thank you so much. Oh, we're almost at 600 likes. This is the problem with having the stream popped over the chat. 613 is where we're at. Nick Brucci was keeping track of the likes for us. He's like, 5 likes to 600. Let's get Dave and Meredith past 600, and we're already at 613. Awesome. I feel like with 15 minutes left to go, easily. It's going to be 15 minutes, Dave?
Yeah.
Then we should get to 700. Why stop at 600, people? You haven't never let me down. We're already at 621.
I have to admit, I'm drawing a little slowly.
Is this because of all the weights you lifted earlier today with your legs?
Yeah, that's why. No, I think I'm just a little I haven't done a drawing on a stream for a while.
Oh, yeah, you've been painting.
I've been painting. The last drawing I did, we had Ryan Stegman on, which was great. And so, yeah, I drew his character from the book he's got coming up with Donnie Cates. But yeah, for the most part, I just haven't been doing this. So
Everybody's like talking about their Finch Flock pass. Dan Genovese says, I'll be wearing my t-shirt. Rich Bear says, I have the Finch Flock pin. So,
Awesome.
wear the pin. Everybody who got the book got the pin. So that's like your little pass.
And there was a t-shirt actually that was part of, it was one of the.
But the pin was, I think,
yeah,
everybody
it
got
just
the pin.
came.
Yeah, it
that's
was
right.
like one of the stretch goals. So everybody got the pin. So, where are we at now with our likes? 632. Come on, 70 people. We need more likes. More liking the likes. Rich Bear says, I have to get another Finch Flock pin so I can have one for my special needs kid. He's a regular watcher. You absolutely do. We need to get, I'm sure Jason can start hooking people up with stuff like all that stuff, extra stuff will be available, I'm sure.
I actually don't know. So I'm hesitant to say sure, but yeah.
We'll find out. Edward Lee, by the way, Dave says, Meredith, if you're getting paid, you're working. If we all got paid for our creative pursuits, we'd have jobs.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Fair
Dave
enough.
works himself into the basement to save himself the dig. Kevin Mandeville. All right. Next super chat comes from Adam Meyer for $2. Hot dog jokes? Really? Boo. I said a hot dog joke. That's how I remembered. That's name association.
Yeah.
I'm an old lady.
You had that coming.
Did I?
Yeah.
I love that song. It's my favorite song. It's not a hot. It wasn't a joke. I promise. No,
We're sorry.
I'm digging myself.
I know. We're sorry, Adam. She means well.
I do. I mean, watch long enough and you'll know I say stupid stuff all the time. James Chin. Hey, guys, I just want to say that my copy of the Kickstarter showed up today and I love it. It's amazing. It was totally worth the wait. Thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you very much. That's awesome. It's great to hear how many are coming, today or even while we were streaming. It's great. They're all getting out there and very quickly.
Brad Scottart has a super chat for $10. Brad says, welcome back. I love the summer sessions, but very happy to be back to Monday Night Draw. Miss Meredith rocks still.
Thank you very much, Brad.
Nick says you can also hit like if you watch the stream later. That's what I do when I'm watching later.
Yeah, that's true. Right?
There you go. So hit watch like. We're already at 665. That's only 666. It's only 34 likes away. 667. Who's going to make it? Who's going to make it 668? There we go. All right. Anand Mohan Tiria says, good morning from India.
Yeah, good morning. I wonder what time it is in India. Probably similar to Europe, right? It's a little further west.
Oh, no. Russ
Sure.
didn't get a pin. I wonder if it fell out of the box, Russ, or got stuck in the box. We'll get you a pin.
Moderator Russ.
Yeah.
Oh, Russ. Wait.
You should have got a pin and some stickers. Everybody got pins and stickers, right?
Actually, Russ has a whole package coming anyway.
Oh.
With he's got like a special.
No worries then, Russ.
Yeah, don't
your
worry.
pin's on its way.
Yeah, more than just a pin, really. Don't worry.
Don't you worry. There's benefits to being the moderator. Greg L. Staticar says, everyone's getting their books. I'm still waiting for mine. Don't worry, people are still waiting for theirs.
Yeah, ironically, the people that ordered the higher tier packages are the ones like the
it's always that way because the higher tier packages end up with original art and it always takes longer to
yes.
get original artwork.
So the remarks are all done and they're out or going out. And we have some packages with some comics. So it's comics, and those ones are going out with the head sketches. So those ones aren't out yet either. Obviously, the head sketches aren't out yet. They'll be, well, it's not going to take long. They'll be finished in a couple of days. And then that'll be it. Then everybody will be all caught up. But yeah, as it is, I hate that, it is that way, but yeah, they take extra work. So they take a little time.
Anthony G says, I almost threw my pin away. I didn't realize it was in the box.
Oh no. Oh, by the way, I just got, I backed the Aspen Kickstarter. So I just got my whole big package full of Aspen stuff. I got a toque, a beanie, depending on where you live.
A toque.
In Canada, it's a toque. Anyway, I got a toque. I got a pen, like a clear stand-up, really cool. A whole bunch of stuff. And all of the covers. I got the package where I got all the covers from the different artists. So it's very cool to get it. And actually, I've had it for just a little bit, but I've been traveling so much. Meredith brought in the box, and it was in the garage. I missed it. So I just saw it this week. So I'm not sure actually when it came.
Sometimes packages, when the garage doors are open, they just put them in the garage.
Oh, that might have happened too. It was sitting on top of the lawnmower.
It was. That's where I found it.
Okay. So. Somebody would just put it on my lawnmower.
Yeah.
Which is, that works. Definitely meant I would find it.
Yeah, that's right. Dennis Kelly says, Meredith Finch, Halloween is on Monday this year.
Hey.
Spooky night draw. The good news is we are not getting trick-or-treaters here. It is a half mile to the nearest house.
Yeah, we can kind of relax on that one.
And Isaac is 14. He's not trick-or-treating.
And our nearest neighbors that we do have are retirees.
Yeah.
They're older, so yeah.
But no kids. We're at 698. See, the flock never lets me down. We're going to have 2 more likes. 701. Done.
Boom.
Done. Just like that.
You can go to bed happy.
I can. I don't even think it took 10 minutes. I think I asked it was 9:43. It is 9:52. It did not take 10 minutes.
Wow, that's awesome.
Up to 700 likes.
I don't know how that happens because
that's how awesome
it has to be somebody that hasn't already liked, right?
I know. I opened like 5 screens. No. I don't know how people like you. Mikey.
Oh my gosh.
It's that kind of a night. Ooh. Adam Meyer. Adam Meyer, not the hot dog. Adam Meyer.
Oh, here you go. Adam is so going to be done with you. And
I'm so self-conscious now. For $5, Adam wants to know if you could do a werewolf sketch like the ones in The Howling. And I actually think a werewolf would be an awesome Halloween sketch.
It would be. And yeah, you know what? Let's just do that. I like that idea a lot. That sounds great. Okay.
Because you've done other stuff. Like you've done like Jason and...
I'm very inclined to do Werewolf by Night.
Yeah. Sounds good. What's The Howling? Is that a TV show?
It's a series of movies from the 80s.
Okay.
Absolute classics. Some great movies. They're terrible, but in the 80s they were awesome. And you know what? I shouldn't even say they're terrible because I watched one not that long ago, and for me they hold up. There's a lot of nostalgia with those movies. They have it's all practical effects because this is before CG. So they have these like the fingers like grow out and everything's shaking and they're bubbling. The back's all bubbling. It was, I think, the first movie that did it was An American Werewolf in London. Unless I'm wrong, maybe
Michael J. Fox.
No, he did Teen Wolf.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, yeah, cool stuff.
It sounds good.
Yes.
Henry Jeremy says, haha, I'm like number 700. Way to go, Henry. That's awesome. Or you get 718.
Awesome.
Nick says, keep the likes rallying. Nick, you're the greatest cheerleader ever.
Yeah, he really is.
Artsy Bible Nerd says, the flock will never let you down. It's so true. You guys never do.
Yeah, it really is. I never imagined I would still be doing this.
No.
You know, I really thought, well, you know what, this would be fun to do just during the pandemic when it was kind of starting and we were all a little isolated, and I never imagined it lasting. And now I've talked to Meredith about it, and we're going to keep going until we can't, you know. So, and by can't, I mean everybody stops watching.
That's
So
right. So you guys still, it's not worth it. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Mike Stitzer has another super chat for $5. Mike says, I'm so sorry to make it awkward earlier. I just wanted to be kind to the flock and share my excitement for the original art Deadly Duo 1 exclusive variant.
and it wasn't awkward. Don't worry, Mike.
No, I just feel like an ass.
You should.
Really, that's my role here, though.
It is.
In your life.
Yes.
The gatekeeper.
Yeah. Oh, I thought to be an ass.
That too. Roy De La Cruz 8 has a super chat for $1.99. OMG, it's been so long. I missed you. Do you remember me? Of course
do.
you do, Roy. Welcome to the chat. Welcome back. We're so it's so amazing. I have to say, as I scroll through the chat and I'm reading the comments, to see everybody here.
Yes.
Like there are people that I don't see. Like I don't see Allison here tonight. I don't see Tom and Amy Morris here tonight. Like there are other people that I don't see, but
Lance is here. I saw Lance.
Yep. But there's so many of you who have been with us week after week after week for 2 years.
Yep.
And it means so much to us. You are like family. Like really, I look for these names every week, and it means a lot to us. So, yeah, I just want to say thanks.
So it's 9:56.
Yeah,
and I'm making pretty good time. Let me zoom back out here. While I finish the cube.
that's basically done.
It's pretty close. I have to do his little symbol too. I kind of avoided that. It's going to be interpretive, put it that way, because the reference I have is not actually that clear.
Phil Finch says, I really could be family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, with a name like Finch.
Yep. Phil is a good name to go with Finch too.
It is, unlike David. No, David is a good name to go with Finch. I've known a lot of Davids in my life.
You have.
I have. It was like Jennifer when we were growing up. Like I would say, I always wanted to be Jennifer. I wished I was Jennifer. Nobody, when you go into the store and you can find your name on a little plate or a keychain, you're never finding Meredith.
Going here.
You're finding David, Jennifer, Stephanie. Those are all really popular names.
David is it's a classic name.
It is. It's a biblical name. It's
Yes.
a strong name. Like Michael.
Well, like Isaac.
Michael was very popular back then.
Our youngest, his name is Isaac, and that is a nice classic biblical name. I think that's why I wanted to.
We mostly called him that because when I found out we were having a baby, I laughed. And Isaac means laughter. And then I cried. Because he was 5 years farther,
younger than our
ones.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, I just got to sleep through the night.
Yeah, put us right back on the mix.
Yeah. God love him. Such a unique, quirky, fun kid.
Yeah, he's gonna be 14 in no time.
All right. Sebastian Espinosa says, you're incredible, David. I love your work.
Thank you very much, Sebastian. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Sheldon Martin, I'm not reading that bad joke.
Sheldon with a bad joke?
Sheldon gave a bad joke. I'm not reading it.
I can't even believe it.
Yeah. Michael DeFonte has a super chat for $5. Hello, Meredith and Dave. Glad you're back. I saw you being advertised for a Rhode Island Comic-Con appearance. Is that actually happening?
It is happening, and I cannot wait. Rhode Island is run by the same people that did the Colorado Springs show, which I loved. And look, I know it sounds like I'm just talking about the show because I'm going to the show and that's like my job, and it is, but they are such a good show. Like really, I had such a great time in Colorado Springs. It was great. And apparently Rhode Island is a huge show. Like it's really big. It's a very, very well attended show. So I'm looking forward to it.
Nice and close to New York. So
yeah, and I've never been.
Yeah.
So
fun.
It's gonna be great.
You'll have a great time. Caden Lane, that is exactly the reason why he did laugh, because he thought he was too old to have a child.
It was a rueful laugh, but you know what?
No,
it's
not you, Abraham. When God told Abraham he was going to have a child, which was Isaac.
Oh, really?
He laughed because he and Sarah they were old men and women at that point.
Shows you, my Bible knowledge is not where it should be.
It's all right. You go to church on Sundays.
I do.
That's half the battle.
Hey, look, it's something. Yeah, when I was in the process of, I had an appointment to get a vasectomy, and I thought we were done, and I was glad to be done. It's so funny though, the minute you find out you're having another one, you couldn't imagine not, like it just, I was thrilled. I was very happy.
I don't know where to go to that after that. So instead, Sheldon Martin is threatening us. He says, hang on. I have until next Monday to come up with more bad jokes.
Now I need to know what it was. I'll ask you later.
I can't.
No, I hear you. That's fine. I'll ask you later.
Alvin says, Sheldon Martin, I didn't think it was a bad joke. It was a bad joke. I mean, it was like a punny joke.
Oh, so when you say bad, you mean like
wah, wah, wah.
Oh.
Not like I can't read the joke bad, but like wah, wah, wah.
Oh, I thought, I can't believe it, Sheldon. Come on.
No, I mean like.
Just, yeah, okay, I got it.
Yeah, like.
Fair enough.
All right, fine. I'm going to read it.
Okay, here we go.
My friend's last name is Eno. I told him to name his kid Philip.
Okay, I don't get it.
Filipino.
Oh, okay.
Like it's a play on words.
Right. Great.
It's not good if you don't even get the joke.
I hope it's not offensive. Do you think? I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
All right. I think we're just about done here.
It would be fun if we could do that with all kinds of things.
What's up?
We're just not that creative anymore.
Do what? Okay.
Oh, Barbarian says, Meredith, please remember Dave. I'm still waiting for the Death Dealer on Monday Night Draw.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Death Dealer. So we have, obviously we have Werewolf by Night coming up for Halloween. I didn't know what I was going to do next week, and we've had some good suggestions. I really like Death Dealer. So if not next week, it'll certainly be soon. That would be awesome to do, actually. That'd be great. Yeah, there we go. I'm done.
Are you done?
Yeah, I had this whole background planned. I wanted to do like this kind of cracked wall with some smoke behind. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I forget.
You forgot there's only 2 hours.
Yeah, that's right. There's a limit to what I can get done. And you know what? I thought this would be a pretty quick character to draw, and it was, but I'm just a little out of practice drawing sketches for Monday Night Draw. All right. Well, thank you everyone for coming.
But hold on. I'm going to read the last super chat.
Okay.
Black Tiger 01 has a super chat for $5. There's a reflection that looks like a thought bubble is about to pop up. And I keep looking, waiting to see what Dave is thinking. I can't be the only one. You see the little white ...
I know. Actually, I've heard that before. So I've got a light over here, and then above. And for whatever reason, they reflect on the pictures behind me. If I didn't have reflective pictures behind you, would never know, but I do, and they're,
and
it's a thought bubble.
Super chat from Justin Joins for $5. Welcome back, Dave and Meredith. Mondays just weren't the same without you. Also, the art book looks amazing, and my wife loves her Finch Fox shirt.
Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. Let me go ahead and sign this, and we'll let you guys all go to bed, or depending on what time of day it is, get on with your day.
Get on with your day.
All right. Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for coming out. We'll see you next week.
It's been too long. All right. Good night, everybody.